Good evening and welcome. I'm Sheila Balgobin and I am the Dream Decipherer. And I help you to crack the code of your sleeping dreams so you can sleep sound and dream deep. I had an unexpected day off last week. I think that was the universe telling me to rest. I was going to do my live and forgot to put in a notice. Never mind. I guess I needed the rest. But this dream in three parts this evening is about cleaning up and taking a rest. So maybe there's something to all of this. But in the first part of the dream, the dreamer reports that they're planning their trip to the airport and will be taking a taxi while a neighbor stroke friend would also be going to the airport, but would be using a prototype transparent vehicle that the neighbor had created or designed. So that's the end of the first part. Then, excuse me, then the second part, the dreamer reports that the next day, or well, it says tomorrow, but the next day is his last day of work before going on holiday. So in the um, while this last day is occurring, he's cleaning up an apartment and getting it ready to be rented again, and was complaining about how it was dirty work and how hard it was to get this place clean. An older gentleman who happened to be present suggested that the dreamer didn't know what they were talking about and had no clue what hard and dirty work was. And the dreamer actually agrees and says, I know the man is right. So that's the second section. In the third section of this dream, the dreamer reports that they get a call from the probation service and they wanted to know if the apartment that the dreamer had been cleaning was actually ready to be rented out again. And they were saying, well, the woman, it's apparently someone that they may have been talking about previously, it's not clear, but the woman is being released, and the probation service wanted to ensure that this person wasn't homeless and ending up going off grid because she just drops out of the system. The dreamer explains that the apartment will be ready to be assigned the next day, and the dream ends there. So those are the three sections of the dream, and well, as always, we'll break it down and see what we come up with. So in the first part of the dream, the dreamer reports that there was a trip to the airport, and it wasn't clear why the dreamer was going until, of course, the second part. But that was my first question. Well, why are you going to the airport? Why are you planning a trip to the airport? But while the dreamer goes in a by the conventional means, i.e., a taxi, which is a common form of transport, the neighbor uses some kind of self created prototype vehicle, which it when I read this, it made me think of the invisible plane that Wonder Woman would fly around in for some reason. Go figure. But my question around this was that, or my observations rather, is that maybe the neighbor was showing some aspect of not being unafraid to try new things, and showing self agency. What I mean is that acting under their own power and their own will by flying or taking this transparent vehicle, rather than conventional common means, which is like the taxi. And I wonder if this neighbor slash friend may actually represent some aspect of the dreamer's shadow, some part of the dreamer that is not being acknowledged or is actually unknown to the dreamer. And maybe this dream is suggesting to the dreamer that trying new and different things doesn't necessarily have to bring disaster. It is there something perhaps that the dreamer is nervous or scared about bringing out into the outside world for some reason. Um, so we'll leave that section for the moment, and we'll go on to the next section, which is the dreamer is cleaning out a flat to be able to get it ready for a new tenant now, and complains about it's such hard and dirty work. And an older man says, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what hard and dirty work is. Now, if you on the one hand, they're actually talking about cleaning an apartment, but if you look at it in a wider context, apartments or homes represent, in a sense, our inner lives, and the different rooms in the house or apartment will represent different aspects of our lives. So this person is cleaning out, this dreamer is cleaning out what seems to be a pretty dirty apartment, and complaining about, it's such hard work, blah, 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 yada, yada. But an older man who may represent, in psychological terms, the sage, the wise old man, to use a cliche, is telling him, you don't know what you're talking about. This isn't work. You're doing, cleaning light. If you really want to get down and dirty, you have to get down and dirty. So my question here for the dreamer is, where in the dreamer's life is the dreamer perhaps not willing or able to dig deeper and do the dirty work to resolve a particular issue or relationship or state of mind or what have you. There seems to be the implication here from this wise old man that the dreamer thinks that they're um, cleaning house, so to speak, but they're not even really scratching the surface. It's like, like I said, cleaning light. Um, what came to me about this was about as I read this, was about cleaning up the mess, getting to the nitty gritty. But the dreamer is moaning about the amount of work that it takes, and self development and becoming truly aware of who we are and why we're here takes work. If you're not willing to do it, then don't be surprised that your life doesn't quite turn out the way you would like. Just it's as simple as that. So there seems to be some question here about whether the dreamer is truly digging deep to bring out whatever needs to be brought out or healed within them. Then we get to the third section of the dream. This flat that the dreamer was cleaning has now been cleared and cleaned and is ready to be rented out once more. Now, according to this probation service, there was a woman. It's the woman. It's almost like an archetype, but she's the representative of any woman anywhere at any time. I mean, it's nothing to identify her other than the fact that she's a woman. But this woman is being released from something, either from jail or detox or something else. And in order to keep her on track, she needs to be rehomed immediately. And the dreamer reports that yes, the apartment is ready for the next day for a new tenant, so it can be released at that time. And my question here for the dreamer is, what area of the dreamer's life has been swept clean, perhaps, so that a new tenant, which it could be an idea, emotion, some new way of thinking, what have you, can move in. So there seems to be something about clearing out old stuff, and to allow something new to come in. And if I would wonder if there's something, some area of the dreamer's life that feels like that at this point in time. Now, if we look at the three sections of dreams of the dream to find out what it is that's actually the connection between the different parts, what came to me is a pyramid. Strangely enough, when I looked at the three sections, it was like a pyramid, but it was starting, instead of starting from the bottom up, which makes sense. You know, you construct something, you don't start with the roof, you start with the foundation. But then in this dream, the pyramid started from the top down. In the first part, was the top of the pyramid, which was a clear and clean and transparent life, or as represented by this neighbor's plane. The middle section was the cleaning a house and removing the debris that was doing the work in the middle, and the bottom was the clean life, the result that wanted to be the, well, the final result or the foundation, I suppose. So, but it just seemed to me that it was, instead of working from the bottom up, and doing the cleaning up, at the rock bottom level and getting a good foundation, there's something about starting at the top and trying to trickle down. And if you know anything about trickle down economics, it don't work. Just doesn't work. Um, but it seems to me that there's some a process perhaps that's going on with the dreamer, where they're working on things and making changes and shifting, but they're not getting at the foundation of what's needs to be addressed. They're kind of dabbling at it at the top, at what the more surface levels, or in their heads, rather than kind of dealing with it on the 3D physical level. Um, and I would ask here, is there an area of the dreamer's life that appears to, where there appears to be some kind of reassessment going on, or perhaps needs to be, but it needs to be taken from head level and brought down into, ground level, into the physical. So there you have it. You have, in pyramids and invisible vehicles and all kinds of things going on, but there seems to be something about cleaning up, whether it be cleaning up an apartment, cleaning up a life, whatever it is. Things seem to need to be cleaned up. Thanks so much for watching and listening. Have a great evening and rest of the week, and I'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye bye.